Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Car Question. Matt with
James.
And yes, we are French-Canadian. We talk like Georges Saint-Pierre. So you might want to know that we have a little accent over here. But guess what? It doesn't matter today because we are rolling the refresh Subaru Forester. So they kind of changed the styling of the front end of the Subaru Forester. When you look at the premier version, which is the luxury touch of the Forester, it's looking more aggressive, but also with the agency of the different color, it's kind of looking good. You've got that nice luxury touch that won't empty completely your wallet. The styling is kind of great. It's more aggressive than ever because back in the past, the Subaru Forester was kind of soft when it came to design. But one big new thing this year is the introduction of the Wilderness Forester. What do you think about that, James?
I love the Subaru Forester Wilderness, Matt. Not just because it's off-road, but the facelift is also different for this car compared to the other Foresters, and also unique wheels to the Wilderness.
Yes, you can see those black wheels are really great. I kind of feel bad when I go off-road, you know, I don't want to put scratch on those, but you got also more aggressive tires. Those Yokohama with the snowflake symbol on them are really aggressive, and today they've been more than useful because when you look at the trail that we went, when you look at the fun that we had with those ice, it could seem pretty easy, but guess what? It was really slippery, and those little hills were nothing when it came to the Subaru Forester Wilderness performance. So the exterior also, you will note that there is some unique fog lights. You will see that the ground clearance is kind of high versus a regular Forester, but by a little bit. And you will also note that when you go for a Wilderness Canadian version, you've got some plating under the vehicle that will protect if there is an impact. So that ground clearance is 9 inches. That's why there's a small difference also between the States and here. And yes, it's kind of lower than the Outback Wilderness. Also, James, when you look at the interior though of the Forester, what do you like?
In the Wilderness, Matt, I really like the seats because they are waterproof, so it's very easy to clean. You have also unique floor mats and in the back too, so the car is very easy to wash and to clean.
Yes, because when you go off-road, guess what? Sometimes you came back dirty. And you will also find some hooks right there in the trunk where you will be able to hang your clothes if they're wet. Once you're going to be rolling, you're going to be happy that those will dry in the back. Also, interior multimedia screen with the base Subaru Forester is going to be a 6.5 inch screen, and you won't find any big tablets screen type that you're going to find in the competition. They keep it small, and 8 inches is going to be the maximum size of the screen that you're going to have. Multimedia system is kind of responding good because the screen is so small. Also, you will see another screen on top of there. You will get more information if you want, but you can also press on the camera button and you will be able to see in front of you. How about the engine, James?
The engine, you have a 2.5 liter, 182 horsepower and 176 pound-foot of torque, and it's mated to a CVT.
Yes, and you can get 8 simulated speed if you want. You can simply switch lever, there you go. So it's not a lot of horsepower though, but for the Forester, it's kind of okay. But one of the great things about that vehicle is that versatility. You will be able to go on and off-road in a jiffy and you won't feel the difference. Even if that suspension was retuned, guess what? Comfort is right there on target. So what did you feel behind the wheel when we were doing some off-road with the Wilderness Edition?
Truly, Matt, I'm not a pro of off-road, but I truly feel safe in that car because the car doesn't do all the job, but it does enough to get you in the right place at the right time.
Yes, and you're going to be able also to use X mode, and there's 2 modes once again in that Forester Wilderness. The computer programmation is different from the one that you're going to find in the Outback Wilderness, but as soon as you switch it with X mode on, the first mode will give you the possibility to get a better traction without needing momentum, but you need to let the system work. So if you turn it on, you kept your foot right there, you're gonna make sure that you climb. So if you accelerate and simply lift the throttle, the system doesn't have time to work. As soon as you switch it into deep X mode stuff, let's say snow, sand, or mud, you're gonna have more momentum, the traction system is turned off, and you're gonna be able to climb those hills really fast, just like you did.
Yeah, and a part of that job, Matt, comes from the ratio of the transmission.
Yes. Thank you, James, for mentioning it, because you've got a different CVT ratio. You're gonna be able to climb easily some heavy stuff, because in the past you could feel that it was kind of underpowered or it would slip, but now with that gearing gone and back on top of the hill, you are in a jiffy. Also, you will have the possibility to tow. Let's say that you want to tow something, you've got a cooler which has been added to that transmission. And James, what's the amount of pounds that you could put in the back?
3,000.
3,000 is enough for most sport utility vehicle, enough for an ATV, enough for a snowmobile. Also, the skid plates, you might think that it's just a toy, but look at that. Listen to that sound. Haha, a nice kiss, a nice bisou. Mwah, mwah. You can hear by the sound that those plates were welcome to be there. That's one big difference between the US and the Canadian model. The Canadian come fully plated. It's only missing the transmission plate. You can get it as an option, but underbody protection is more than welcome. Also, James, if you go off-road, I think you're gonna be pretty happy to talk about that next feature in the back under the trunk.
Yeah, because you have a full wheel usable in the trunk. So if you do a flat on your trip, you just have to replace the tire and go. You don't have to search for a garage nearby or anything like that. You just change the tire and you continue your trip.
Yeah, and those tire inflator kits are not like really useful often once you get that big hole in the side of the tires. And how about also the TPMS, the sensor? You've got one in the back wheel. You're gonna be able to roll without any lights in the display. How does it ride? It's well balanced in every road that you're gonna face. If you go on tarmac, you will have a really great road handling. And if you go on some off-road path, it's really soft. We already did a lot of image back in the past in my field, and as soon as you're gonna hit some bump, that suspension can take it, and the retune help even more. Braking force, it's precise, so this is one capable vehicle that will be comfortable for you, for your passenger. And geez, look at that space in the rear. There is a lot of that back there. So what do you don't like about the Forester, James?
One of the only things I don't like about that car, Matt, is the power. Because maybe you don't need the power, but you certainly want some more power. Because when you want to pass a truck, a car, whatever on the highway, it's kind of impossible.
But it's kind of okay once you're going to be in traffic, accelerating, city maneuvers. You won't probably feel it. So if you want more power, go with the Outback Wilderness.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing I don't like about that car is that there's no wireless charger in the...
Oh, that's a big thumbs down.
Yeah.
And it's also lacking the cooling seat up in the front and the heated seat in the rear for the Wilderness model. On the plus side though, I love the look. That ground clearance is just amazing. That dual X mode is capable. Off-road here with a real breeze. Remember, snow, ice, it's kind of hard. Even if the path seems easy, it's kind of hard for a vehicle. And how about also those tires? They can do a lot of things, even if they're only branded with the Snowflake logo. Otherwise, with the price that you're gonna pay that Forester, it's gonna be around $38,000, a little bit more. It's a great package for the value. Overall, all the models of the Forester, the price is great for what you get. So, the Forester is all about adventure. You okay with that, James?
Yes.
If you want to discover more and go in an adventure in Canada, what does Subaru give you?
They give you a pass for Canada parks.
Yeah, and you're gonna be able to see all the great parks here in Canada, travel, do some road trip. I think this is a nice feature also added to the experience of the Forester Wilderness. So there you go, guys. Feel free to comment, feel free to thumbs up, like, and make sure that you subscribe, because we're gonna have another video here on Car Question.